my hands were just so painful. So they were cracked, they were dry, they used to bleed across my knuckles. I can remember one of the patients that I looked after, I'm a pediatric nurse, so they're all kids. But this little boy said, he saw my hands and he was like, Antonia, what's wrong with your hands? Like, what's wrong with you? Because they just looked so unsightly. I was like a 22-year-old. I should have had lovely, soft, supple hands, and they just weren't. They were just really dry and awful. I used to hide them. I used to kind of sit on them all the time, or I used to avoid using like chip and pin machines, because at the time it was not scanny. You wouldn't scan a chip and pin machine. It was like had to put your actual pin number in. And I didn't want to do that because I didn't want people to see my hands and think that there was something really wrong with me. It was just awful, just really painful. It made hand washing unbearable. And I just knew that I had to find a solution to my problem. So after being signed off for 2 weeks from occupational health, I went into my nearest Boots and I practically bought the whole aisle of hand creams out there. I just wanted to try everything. I wanted to see what worked, and just found that nothing really suited my skin. Nothing seemed to have that kind of nourishing effect that I wanted through a product. And so that's when I decided that there was probably something that we could do about it. Luckily, my now husband and co-founder Johnny was also kind of quite experienced in this area, in a sense that he had set up businesses in the past, and he knew kind of what we needed to do and what we needed to look into and find out about whether or not there was an even a reason, like how many people had the problem. So we scoured multiple government white papers. We looked into loads of research into the problem, how many people suffer from contact dermatitis or some other form of skincare condition, and actually found out about 85% of all healthcare staff suffer from some form of skin condition in during their career. So we actually knew that we had a real case to do something about it. So we started working with a cosmetic laboratory to formulate our first formula, and we put all sorts of things down on paper and said what we would like to have in it. And a lot of it was things that I had used myself. One of the main ingredients that we have in it is something called Manuka honey, a medical grade Manuka honey, and that is proven for its antiseptic and healing properties. And I'd come across this product because working on a hospital ward, some of the children would have wounds, and that was something that they would use on their wounds. So they would put the cream or these dressings, which were impregnated with Manuka honey, onto their wounds, and then it would have this amazing, really fast effect on their wounds. So it would heal it really quickly, and they wouldn't get the same infection. So we knew that that was one of the kind of key ingredients that we wanted within it. And it took a while to formulate, so we had a lot of iterations to get to the final formula. And there was a lot of toing and throwing between what we wanted in it. And it was my kind of brief to the lab was that it needed to be super fast absorbing. It needed to have lots of amazing healing properties. And actually what we wanted to do was flip it on its head. So instead of putting all of the active ingredients at the very bottom of the ingredients list, which a lot of products out there do, we wanted to put the actives at the top. So it just made it so much more effective than a lot of the other products that were on the market. And that is really why I think Nursing has done so well for so many healthcare staff and other people with hardworking hands out there, and helped solve their problems. So good. I would say that I don't feel embarrassed with them. I feel quite like confident with my hands now. I feel like I want to show them off, especially when I've had my nails done, which is like such a treat. Also, a brilliant thing is that I can wash my hands without feeling the pain. One big top tip that I always say to people is always, if you're going to wash your hand, like washing your hands throughout the day, and you know you've got to wash your hands throughout the day, instead of rubbing them dry, pat them dry, and that massively helps. So that and hand cream application is just a total godsend. Like that is just the way forward. But yeah, a lot more confident, and I love my hands now.